Hey y'all, it's your travel bestie Kat, and I'm so excited for today's episode because my lovely human friend Melissa Blettner, who is just amazing and is the CEO of the fabulous Ancient Lore Village, think fairies and fun, is joining us. So take a second, pause, and like, follow, and share this podcast so I can keep asking my friends and people I don't know who love to travel to join us and share all their wisdom with us. Have a beautiful day and enjoy.
Hi, Kat. Thanks for having me on here today. My name is Melissa Blettner. I'm the CEO of Boyd Hollow Resorts, and Boyd Hollow is the parent company of Ancient Lore Village, which is an award-winning boutique resort located in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And it's so much fun out there too. If Ancient Lore Village had a movie trailer voiceover, what would it be, do you think?
So let's see, in my best Morgan Freeman voice, it would be something like, "Come and experience the magic, mystery, and wonder of Ancient Lore Village. Explore the beautiful gardens with a fairy guided tour, partake in axe throwing and archery, and then enjoy a fantastic chef prepared dinner at the village table." So, the
Excellent. And
perfect
he is the
night out.
voice. What's the first thing you want guests to feel when they arrive for a stay?
Oh, that's a good question. Our whole purpose, we're grounded in hospitality with purpose, which is really our larger mission and goal for the company. And I think the first thing that we want people to experience is just relaxation and exhale. And the whole vibe of the village when you get there is that it's creating a place where only good exists, where you can really disconnect from your phones and you can reconnect with the people that you came there with or with people that you just meet there. So it's really about getting back to non-electronic devices and connecting, and also in a time when our world is so divisive and there's so many bad things that are going on in the world. We want people to come there and know that they're in a place where only good exists, where they can just kind of forget about their problems for a while and be kind with one another. And we have one joyful request, and that is kindness and respect for all.
Oh, I love that. Now, you've had an incredible hospitality career. What originally drew you into this industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I have been in the hospitality industry for a long, long time. And I always knew I wanted to do something to be able to serve people. And so that's either like becoming a nurse and in the medical field or hospitality. And I can't really do blood, so hospitality it was. And when I was a senior in high school, I went to Hawaii with my mom and dad, and we stayed at the Hyatt Regency in Ka'anapali, Hawaii, in Maui. And it was beautiful. And I knew, and my parents always raised me that, work is going to be a big part of your life. So you should do something that you absolutely enjoy. And I thought, what a better way to enjoy my work every day is if I went to a place like this, like the Hyatt Regency there. Now, my first job in the hospitality industry was a room only hotel in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, my.
That wasn't at all like the Hyatt Regency in Kaanapali. But then through the years, I had um, great opportunities to work some fabulous places, and also to create a large brand too. So now we're kind of doing that again with Ancient Lore Village.
That's so cool. I mean, did you ever imagine you'd be part of this luxury fantasy themed resort in East Tennessee?
No, no, no clue that my life would lead me to East Tennessee. I started and I worked for Holiday Inns and Embassy Suites and your typical chain hotels. And then I worked for a private ski resort in Wisconsin. Uh, and then worked for 20 years, Great Wolf, and from just 100 pack members to over 7,000 over the course of that 20-year span, and making it, really creating that into the largest owner operator developer of indoor water park resorts in the world. And then when I left Great Wolf in 2018, for 2 years, I did some consulting, hospitality consulting, and I had my own company called Dream Big.
Oh,
And through that company and that consulting, Ancient Lore Village found me. And the former CEO reached out and was looking for somebody that had experience building brands. And so in 2019, I a consultant, and in 2020 I accepted the role as a CEO. And our vision is really to grow this brand very large and very impactful, um, with really, like I said, that hospitality with purpose as the core meaning of what we're doing at the village. So we believe that the people, guests, are craving experiences where they can step into fantasy, where they can forget about their problems, where they can just get along. Like, can't we all just get along? And people are craving that. So we have some fabulous business development initiatives that are underway, including our Boki's Trek experience, which is an immersive family experience. And also on the flip side, people want to feel better. They want their mental health and physical health to just be better. And so we also have a well-being retreat in the development stages.
that's awesome. What detail do you think guests often miss that you secretly love about the village?
Gosh, I think one of the things we hear most from our guests is the attention to detail. So in the rooms, there's little fairy doors that cover up the outlets and stuff. And there's actually a story behind that too. And I think that's probably one thing that the guests don't really get. They miss. Some of them get it, some of them get to hear it, but there's story behind every single intentional thing. So the story behind fairy doors is that at night when you're sleeping, the fairies will visit your dwelling and they'll sprinkle fairy dust on you so that when you leave, you're a little bit happier than you were when you arrived.
Ooh, that's so very cool.
Yeah.
How do you train the team out there at Ancient Lore Village to create this magic and not just another transaction?
So we keep it really simple, and um, they're with the team, their number one goal is to execute with ease and excellence. So it's really about creating that environment where guests can come in. We kind of have dubbed that friendly 5-star service. So although our villagers are not dressed in full-on character garb, they're there and they're friendly and they're helping whatever they need. They're very accommodating and welcoming. And I think our Google reviews on the team are fantastic, and they have been since the day we opened. And that's just that, Southern hospitality along with the vision of what we have for the company that really delivers that great service.
I would agree. Your team is pretty spectacular. Now,
Well,
I'm your
thank you.
travel bestie, Kat. So I was
Yes,
curious
you
what
are.
destinations have inspired your leadership or creativity most when you travel?
Boy, it's interesting too, because I think, like I said, when I was in Hawaii, that kind of sparked it. And then through Great Wolf Lodge, I think like the first part of my career, it was really about understanding the ins and outs and the mechanics of the hotel industry, not hospitality so much, but the hotel industry. And then moving into Great Wolf Lodge, where we were building a brand that was really grounded in experience. And I had the opportunity to travel all over up the different Great Wolves. And then I think experiences, I've traveled to Europe, Italy, Ireland, and England, and France, Greece, Croatia, all of these fabulous destinations. And I love cruising because every single morning is like Christmas, right? You wake up and you're just in a new
Yeah.
place you can explore. And I think from a hospitality standpoint and just vacations with my travel bestie, I would say,
Mm.
exploring into like the history of Europe is amazing. But then on the flip side, and my husband and I love this, we cruise a lot down to the Virgin Islands, and there's really nothing better than seeing the aqua blue waters in Antigua of just being able to unwind and relax, lobster catamaran and champagne tour or something.
Yes. And they've got 365 beaches in Antigua. So there's one for every day of the year. Love it there.
Yes, I know. So I think we need to just move there for a year and visit every beach.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Is there a resort or a destination anywhere in the world that makes you think, wow, they just nailed it?
Oh boy, there's so many. I think, being able to go and see, there's different things, whether it's a a chain hotel or a great hotel in Europe, or just this last fall, I went with my sister on her 70th birthday to New York City, and we stayed at the Plaza, and just the
Ooh.
rich history of experiences that are there in that like crazy iconic hotel and the history there. Um, but then experiences from all inclusive resorts. We honeymooned at the Sandals in St. Lucia, and boy, they nailed it. Like, you can do whatever you want, just get up. And we got our scuba certification there, and we would lay in hammocks under the shade and hike the nearby state park up to the top of one of the cliffs there and be able to look out over the ocean. So I think the big thing about travel is to just, I always, whenever I set sail, or not even set sail, but just pack my suitcase, the minute I leave my home, it's the excursion. So even traveling in the airport is part of the experience. And so if you get delayed, so what? Maybe you're supposed to see something else there. So relax and enjoy that and find something else to do. Maybe take in a spa treatment at the airport or grab a glass of wine at a restaurant, but just enjoy every single moment and just cherish that.
Now, you talk a lot about heart leadership. What does that philosophy mean to you?
So, leading with heart really stemmed this last year, just as I was reflecting back on my career and the people that I've been able to work with. And it's really about heart stands for hospitality, and hospitality at its core is just about welcoming people. So, it doesn't even specifically apply to the hospitality industry, it can be for industry. It's being hospitable to your guests, and your guests are your customers are your guests. But when you're a manager or a leader, and that's what leading with heart is all about, it's understanding that the team that you're leading, they're your guests, and they're never an interruption to your day. They are the purpose of it. So that's what the hospitality is. The next is setting expectations, because how can you possibly expect someone on your team to do what you want them to do if you don't set an expectation for them? They'll never understand. Um, so it's mentality, expectations, alignment, making sure that all of your leaders are aligned with the vision of what they're doing so that they can go ahead, and it's kind of that trickle down effect where everyone in the organization then understands the vision of where they're going and the alignment of how things are handled. The next is resilience, because things don't always go the way you want them to. But if you can hold your head high and manage and lead through those experiences, that will make it better and stronger. And the last is trust, because without trust, um, Franklin Covey wrote a book, Leading at the Speed of Trust. And that's trusting that your fellow managers operate with excellence and they know what they're doing, and allowing them to do that is trusting your team that they're actually going to be able to execute what you want them to, instead of having to micromanage them. Nobody wants to be micromanaged, and everybody, and I hardly ever use nobody and everybody, but I think this holds true. Nobody wants to be micromanaged, and everybody wants to know how they contribute to the success of the company. And if you as a leader can grasp those things and really step into it as a servant leader, um, I think you can really embrace some things. So I'm in the process right now of writing a book that will kind of talk about some of those lessons and how to implement them in your business.
Oh, that's awesome. What advice would you give women who are stepping out in business into executive leadership roles?
Mm-hmm. Um, I think imposter syndrome is real. I think people thinking I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this, I can't do this, I'm overlooked for this or I'm overlooked for that. And I think knowing and understanding that everything you want in life is inside of you. And so you can be, do, and have anything you want so long as you believe in yourself and you put forth the effort to make that happen. And you're kind and respectful. So finding your own grounding and purpose to step into that um, is important. And no, you are worthy and you do belong here.
Heck yes. So, what's next for Ancient Lore Village? Are there future expansions or new experiences you're excited about?
So at Ancient Lore Village, we are always adding on um, new experiences at the existing location. One of the great things we're doing coming up this fall is we will be hosting a writer's retreat. That's a 3-day event, and tickets are on sale for that right now, and they're filling up quickly. But it's a 3-day event that's led. So if you've had a vision of like writing a book, this is a great place to come and be able to further that goal of yours. And it's going to be a great immersive weekend. But we have a lot of different like 3-day retreats, and those will be really fun. So we have a lot of experiences at the village that we're expanding into. And then beyond that is our business development efforts, and that includes the Bokies Trek experience, which is an immersive family attraction that'll be located over in the Smoky Mountains area of Pigeon Forge or Sevierville. That will bring families in to be able to experience those values of ancient lore and be able to connect and experience the magic, mystery, and wonder of ancient lore through a day experience. And then our well-being retreat is near and dear to my heart. And that is not your typical spa resort, but this is really stepping into um, longevity and the principles of like ancient wisdom and movement, and then the modern modalities of healing, including red light therapy and different treatment sessions like that, and healthy cooking classes, and um, sound therapy and aqua therapy, all sorts of different things, so that when people come and they are staying there, they can do a longer program and leave. The goal is to have people leave transformed from the well-being retreat.
Oh, that's very cool.
Hmm.
I have some rapid fire travel questions for you. Are you
Oh boy.
a mountain or a beach girly?
Mountain or beach? Oh boy. I'm gonna have to say beach.
James, do you have a favorite travel snack?
Favorite travel snack? Boy, that's a tough one. I would say, like, I like to try and find smoothie shops when I'm traveling through the airport, because they just kind of help, give you that energy that you're going to need for the rest of your vacation.
For sure. They give you that little boost of some sugar and perk you
Protein.
up.
Yeah,
Yes. Are you a carry-on girly or an overpacker like myself?
totally overpack. Check it. Don't
Same.
want to donkey it through the airport.
I agree with that so hard. Favorite luxury hotel item to steal? Accidentally pack like when you're at the luxury hotel.
Oh my gosh, like every single little soap and shampoo and the loofahs. In fact, my uh sister-in-law and brother-in-law just came and stayed with us, and it was like all in the guest suite upstairs. And they were like, "Oh, it's like a hotel."
Perfect.
Mm.
Okay. One destination everyone should visit once in their life.
Oh boy. Ephesus, Turkey.
Okay.
I
Why?
mean, so I thought that, in my travels, I started going to like one of my first historical travels was Colonial Williamsburg, right? And I thought that was old. Oh my gosh, you learned so many things. And we went out to Mount Vernon and things. But then going over to Europe, you see like castles in England. And then we went on a cruise. Then we went to Italy and you saw the Colosseum and you're like, oh my gosh, this is huge, these huge, great ruins. But then going to Ephesus, Turkey, and it was a cruise port, and we took a bus out to Ephesus, and I was actually able to stand in the Virgin Mary's house. And
Oh my
there's an
gosh.
entire town, the Colosseum in Rome is a big Colosseum that's there, but this is an entire town that is preserved from back 2000 years ago. So it's just something that's kind of humbling to be able to experience.
Yeah, and everyone should definitely see that. I agree. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Absolutely morning.
For reals. Okay. I'm a night owl. I thought you were too. I'm shocked.
No, well, once I get depends vacation, I might stay up a little later. I used to be a night owl, but now I love morning. My brain is sharp and I wake up early and just start going.
Okay. Well, other than Ancient Lore Village, what's the most magical place you've ever visited?
Most magical place.
Hmm.
Well, and this isn't so much from the fantasy realm, but also another wonderful destination. And I'm going to go back to the Virgin Islands of just being at a beach and being able to take in the waters. When we were in St. Lucia and scuba diving. And this was absolutely magical. I used to be afraid of scuba diving because I always thought the fish were going to get me. And then I realized that they're kind of like the birds. They don't really, they're not going to like dive bomb me. And we were scuba diving next to the Piton there, and we were, you know, 80 feet below sea level, and it was raining above the ocean. I couldn't even tell. And the next, just being in that moment where there's fish around you, I think there might have been a shark coming by us too, but it didn't bother us. But the next piece of land literally was like Africa. And so you just have the
Oh, wow.
entire ocean that's on the other side of you. Now we weren't that far out in the ocean. We were right next to right next to the land, but I just in my brain at that time. So one of the most magical places I think is scuba diving. You're just there and it's a time when all you're hearing is your own breath and all you're seeing is the wonder and beauty of the underwater world.
That's really cool. I'm a snorkel girl. I'm a little nervous about the scuba diving, but maybe someday I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, definitely do it. It's amazing. It's yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Well, what's one thing you want to leave everyone with? What's one thing they should know about you, Ancient Lore Village, travel?
Oh, I would say if you haven't traveled, you should do it because it opens up just the education of and take your children. I mean, the education that they'll get from taking a trip is so much more that they can learn sitting in a classroom. And just those experiences through life are really what give you joy. And with Great Wolf, you know, our mission there was creating family traditions, one family at a time. And with ancient lore, it's all about bringing people together and creating this place of good where people can reconnect. And it's all founded in those experiences of faith and memory. So I would say in closing, you should call your travel bestie Kat and book an excursion or a cruise or a vacation or whatever. Just get out there and do it.
You got to say yes to travel, people. It'll change your
Yes.
world.
Yes. Say yes to travel.
It definitely will change your perspective on the world when you get out of your bubble and see how other people are living. It's amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I hope you have a beautiful day.
Thank you. I do too. I hope you have a wonderful day and thanks for having me on your podcast.
Yes, ma'am.